Main event.
Okay.
Big Volk from Wollongong.
Big Volk. Little Volk.
Dragons country. It is Dragons country.
You're talking language I'm not understanding.
Illawarra. Aussie rules in Australia is like soccer, obviously football.
Right.
But rugby league around the area where he's from is like massive.
Is it? Yeah.
Massive. There's like around that Sydney area, there's the Roosters, the Bunnies, the Dragons, the Panthers, the Eels, the Tigers, the Sharks down in Cronulla, which I got a job for the Sharks once and couldn't get a visa.
The anti-vaxxers, the protesters.
Yeah. Picket lines. Yeah, it's crazy when, like, so he used to play in the middle in rugby league, and if you play in the middle, you're about normally like 100 kilos, maybe 105, 107, something like that. And
right.
And I think he was 90 at the time, so he was well undersized, but yeah, tough. Like Wollongong's tough working class, like spot. And
yeah,
he's a tough dude, isn't he?
Yeah, I saw a lot of his fights
man.
were in that same area as well. There's a couple of Wollongong wars.
Yeah, nice.
A couple of the fights that he's fought.
A lot of the rugby league teams they bring wrestlers in and they bring MMA guys in. The tackle is a bit different.
That's why you were there, wasn't it?
There's a lot of like wrapping and
brought him in for his wrestling.
Overhooks, underhooks, and hooks and handles used to call it. The Broncos had Chris Haseman. Do you remember Chris Haseman fought Fedor? Like right back in the day, fought Fedor.
Yeah.
The Broncos had him as their like grappling coach, pretty much during their heyday. Like they smashed it for a long time. Yeah. Now Volkanovski didn't make it that level. Like no. He was like they sort of, I've heard a couple of times sort of make the announcers sort of making out that it was a standout. He didn't quite make it a standout. No. Like he played club level. He didn't quite make it as a pro, but he's. I like him.
I think. Oh yeah.
Well, he's industrious. He's tough. He's got like an oppressive tempo, isn't he? Like his tempo he puts on, he must feel like he's drowning the whole time, and he almost uses that like a weapon.
Yeah, it's the timing of it. It's he'll go bang bang, bang,
yeah,
bang bang bang, bang.
You're like, hold on, one of those bangs that was my turn.
Yeah. Come on, motherfucker, this is not how Dutch drills work.
Yeah, exactly.
It's become an analogy that's used quite a lot though, the rogtang timing.
Yeah.
I talk about it in war rooms now.
Yeah.
Because it's the best way of explaining it.
Yeah.
It's like there is no breathing room. The moment in between his one combination and the next is not enough for you to go.
Yeah.
And if you go, he's going to cancel you. Yeah.
He does some lovely like fakes and then just pauses, and then he'll go back. He fakes that leg kick, doesn't he? Like he'll whip that leg kick and cause some damage, and then he'll fake it and he'll wait, see what happens. And I like the way. I like the way he moves, man.
For sure.
He slides through stances really nicely as well, doesn't he? He's
that's what he was catching Holloway with in that first one.
Yeah.
After he'd hammered his leg and he was getting him to switch southpaw.
Yeah.
He was stepping through with a lead right hook and caught him a couple of times.
I think he won that second fight though, man.
I don't think he did.
No.
I think he won for 2 of the rounds.
Yeah.
But I think Max Holloway knew it as well he was winning the rounds.
Yeah.
It was weird because he kept acknowledging Anik at the end of the round.
Yeah,
like John Anik mentioned it after the first round, but then not after that one. But he was like Holloway went back to his round. He looked over at Anik and he told him to be quiet. Yeah. And I don't think it was necessarily at John Anik, but it was probably something that was in the rhetoric of the build up to the fight that was in Anik's voice and him saying, he's not the same as he used to be, or because of this and that and blah, blah, blah. And that stayed in Max Holloway's mind. And he's used it to motivate himself. And,
mate, I fucking love Max so bad.
Yeah.
He definitely...
He got better when he fought Calvin Kattar. Like, that was a better version of Max Holloway against Calvin Kattar.
Yeah.
Question is...
a whole nother level.
For sure. Like, output, aggression, footwork, variety of his strikes was better as well. The question is, was Brian Ortega better against Korean Zombie? Or was Korean Zombie just not as good as Max Holloway?
That fucking beating that Max put on...
It was mad, wasn't it?
It was crazy.
But then would you imagine it went any different if they fought again?
No.
I think Max would do the same thing to him.
Like, in some respects, it made me respect Brian Ortega's toughness, because there was a lot of ways out of that, and he got the shit beaten out of him, the sort of shit beating that, like, changes you as a man.
Yeah.
And he's back and he's fighting for the title, and fucking fair play for being that resilient. I don't think I just don't feel like he has enough. He doesn't have enough to beat Max, I don't think, and I'm not sure he's got enough to beat Volkanovski either.
Yeah, I think he's got a better chance. They've got a bit of
a better chance of beating Volk than he has of Max.
There's a bit of a love triangle going on here because I think maybe not though. Maybe Max has just leveled up. I think if Max fought Volkanovski again, I think he'd probably outpoint him to a decision. I think Max would also do the same thing to Ortega, but I think Brian Ortega's got a much better chance of beating Volkanovski than he has Max. Yeah, just stylistically because. So like the reason why I like Volkanovski in this fight is because that pace that he sets, because he can switch his stance and he throws a much higher volume of strikes at his opponent, and also because he's got that threat of the level change, which makes the threat of the overhand a bit more risky. I think the threat of the takedown is somewhat nullified by the fact that Brian Ortega will probably wrap his neck up in the process. So I think that's one way for Brian Ortega to win.
Higher risk for Volk.
Way higher risk. He is good at getting past the legs, but he's got to get in first. And, like, again, his pace, he sets that pace, he pop. The level changes underneath and gets past the legs fine. But then he's got to maintain that position without Brian Ortega working his game. And he can transition in any situation through one submission to the next. Brandao is a good black belt, snapped him down, anaconda, Mount triangled him and then rolled over to finish the triangle. Yeah.
He's much like.
There's more ways for Ortega to win.
Yeah, and he's a bit more flamboyant than Volk, isn't he? He's got lots of different things that you play with. I feel like Volkanovski is like a bit Shevchenko-ish in terms of I'm going to take the most direct route possible, and if that is pinning up against a fence in half guard and a C cup and just beating the fuck out of you, that's what we'll do.
Yeah.
It'd be a fun fight, but I feel like Volk boxes him up a little bit, kicks him up, batters that lead leg, and once he's beaten him up, maybe takes him down and tries to finish on the floor. It's just the risk reward of obviously shooting and engaging that wrestle with Ortega is something to be considered in it.
I think Ortega's striking is a problem for Volkanovski, but only for shorter periods of the fight because he doesn't throw the same kind of volume. Like Max Holloway's striking is dangerous because it's constant. Volkanovski's striking is dangerous because it's constant. Ortega's more effective than constant. Like you think about the elbow and the uppercut against Frankie Edgar or the knee against Clay Guida. Like he finds his moments to land those shots that do the damage, but there has to be breathing room either side, and that's where Holloway and
cracked Max a couple of times, didn't he? He found a home a couple of times.
But Max takes a good shot. Volkanovski takes a good shot.
Yeah.
Like I think if I'm Volkanovski, I'm going, okay, well, the point of difference in this fight is the pace that I set on the feet. Because it's far more dangerous to take him down and try and grapple with him than it is to just hit him more. Like what's he gonna have to negate? He's gonna have to negate that hop side kick to the leg and to the midsection and that low kick that he was using against Korean Zombie, and then a good jab. But make him throw that jab. Like make him throw those shots. Make him throw double in the first round than he did against Korean Zombie, because Zombie was just kind of waiting for his counter shot, so Ortega was being cautious about what he was throwing out.
Yeah. It's gonna be.
I think Max Holloway wins.
Well, I think, whoever wins and Max gets another shot, Max is going back to being the champ.
Yeah,
for sure. Cool, man. I like it. I like it's good. It's a good card all the way through. Yeah. But this is a fun way to finish it.
Which way you going?
I'm going Volt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm going Volt.
Okay, I'll go Brian Ortega just for shits and giggles. Then I'm so on the fence about it because I can. And I find this usually when I've done a war room on a show on a fight, I've created enough arguments for the underdog that I'm like going, oh well, the underdog now. I love a fucking underdog. I think the underdog's but I don't really think there is an underdog in this one. Which one's the underdog? I don't really see one. Like 22-1 against 15-1.
Yeah.
I think they've both got enough of a capacity to win to make this a very, very even fight. And I genuinely really don't care who wins. I can see Brian Ortega snatching a guillotine and putting Volkanovski to sleep.
Imagine if he wins and then knowing there's got to be some damage from that Max fight. Psychologically, there's got to be some damage. You like win it and you're like, fuck.
Mate, he should have psychological damage from the Calvin Kattar fight that Max Holloway
had.
Like, watching that and going,
oh God, he's got
hell.
better.
Like,
fuck, what the fuck?
Yeah. You had enough punches in the first place. Yeah. I wonder what the strike stats were that. I wonder if it just appeared as if Max Holloway's output was much greater than it normally was.
It
fucking was.
Talk about flow state.
Mate, that is ridiculous. Wait, honestly. So the next most comparable fight for Max Holloway's striking output is the Brian Ortega fight.
Really?
Right? Brian Ortega threw 110 strikes in that fight compared to Max Holloway, who threw 290.
Wow.
Right? That's really impressive. 290. Calvin Kattar threw 133 strikes. Max Holloway threw 445. That's ridiculous. Like that's
that elite level of a sport. You can't comprehend how there can be such a gap. Like, it's not like a novice versus the best in the world. It's like two really high level guys. Like, how is the gap so big?
Yeah. You know what's interesting is he threw more strikes in that fight than he did in both the Volkanovski fights put together. In fact, almost as much as, no, in fact, more than his last three fights, aside from the Calvin Kattar, Volkanovski, and Frankie Edgar. Like, I mean, he's averaging like 130 strikes. He goes from 290 against Brian Ortega, 181 against Poirier, 129 against Edgar, 134 against Volkanovski, and then 102 in the rematch with Volkanovski.
Yeah, so why?
You know, the stats don't favour him again in that rematch with Volkanovski either.
No.
I mean, I know obviously it's scored by round.
Yeah.
So that's where the point of difference can be.
Why do you think that is? Why does the output drop? Because Volk presents a difficult picture to encourage you to
constantly
throw.
moving.
Yeah.
He's constantly moving.
Then you're sort of second guessing throwing stuff.
Yeah. Like usually Holloway increases his output as well as his effectiveness. He gets better and he gets more effective. But I just don't think he got started in the Volkanovski fight, so he was never able to claw it back.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you know, he did throw more shots as the fight went on, but it was only marginal, and his success rate wasn't a great deal better. We went off on a tangent there, but I mean, you're going Volkanovski. Yeah. I'm thinking Ortega might steal it with a submission, might sting Volkanovski with a knee or an uppercut, and then catch him in a guillotine.
Ooh, that'll be an upset for the Volks. I think
Max Holloway's still the best featherweight on the planet.
I agree.
Wicked.
Nice. Please check out our sponsors. We're sponsored by unboundmerino.com, and if you use the code OUTLAW, you'll get 15% off your purchases, and if it's over $100, Unbound will ship for free. And NordVPN are back on board. Please go and have a look. NordVPN/outlawed, and you'll get 73% off a 2-year plan and 4 months free.
So that is enough to travel to a different country to watch my breakdown show from a different country and then fly back.
Yeah. It's really easy travel like that at the minute.
It is, right?
Yeah, there's no quarantine.
You just stick one of them plastic things up your nose. We've still not put that clip out of Mystery doing his PCR test, do you? This one strangling the seagull.
Easy.
Wicked. Nice one.
All good. Nice one.
Catch you next time. Thanks, everybody.